Changes are coming for glass recycling. There's a new art feature in Fireman's Park, and a new place to stay in Tacoma has just opened up. All that and more coming up next on Tacoma Report. Hi, and welcome to this edition of Tacoma Report. I'm Laura Proctor. Following an extensive community outreach and engagement process, the Tacoma City Council has passed the 2021-2022 biennial budget. The budget supports City Council priorities relating to community safety, health, affordable housing, access, livable wage jobs, belief and trust, and culture and effectiveness. You can find out more about the recently passed biennial budget by going to cityoftacoma.org/budget. A Recycle Reset is coming to Tacoma's residential curbside glass recycling program. Stacy Elliford has more on how this change will affect residential customers.
Starting Monday, January 4th, 2021, curbside glass collection will stop for all customers in single-family homes or duplexes and be replaced with satellite glass recycling drop-off locations throughout the city.
As part of the Recycle Reset project, we took a look at some of our problematic materials that we were collecting in the program that created issues for our processors. And then additionally, we looked at internally at our inefficiencies within our program. And one of the biggest inefficiencies was around our residential curbside glass pickup program. And also make sure that we're not putting glass into the bigger recycle stream that may contaminate that. We're moving to a glass drop-off methodology as opposed to curbside pickup.
The curbside glass recycling program requires 3 to 4 trucks to collect glass each day, which increases the carbon footprint of the system. Under this new model, glass recycling is being hauled by 1 truck per day to Seattle.
To increase those efficiencies, we're moving to a glass drop-off methodology, which will benefit both the environmental aspect and picking up and not sending out 3 or 4 trucks throughout the city every day. Economically, it'll look to save the city about $500,000 per year on that program. And then safety-wise, our glass collection, due to the manual nature of picking up that bin, dumping it into the glass truck, and then setting it back down, was one of our biggest safety hazards. So it also eliminates more on-the-job injury potentials that we see in the future.
When launched on January 4th, Solid Waste Management will have 4 sites that will be available around the city. More sites will be added as they become available.
One will be at Central Co-op over in the north end, west end kind of area of the city. One will be at Center at Norpoint up in northeast Tacoma. One will be at Stewart Heights Park over in kind of south end, upper south end, east side kind of neighborhood. And then we'll still have the Tacoma Recycle Center. But moving forward, we're looking at a couple other sites throughout the city to try to serve more of central Tacoma and then also kind of that further south end resident base as well there. So we're still exploring options.
The Tacoma Recycle Center collects glass as well as a number of other recyclable materials. All the other glass drop-off locations will accept glass and household batteries.
So those are kind of like your alkaline batteries, your AA's, AAA's, D's, C's, those kind of batteries. We'll also accept lithium-ion batteries too that come in a lot of electronics, cell phone batteries, laptop batteries. We just don't want any kind of huge batteries like car batteries. And then all of those will be accepted across those locations. And then at Stewart Heights Park, we will also accept cardboard and scrap metal into a couple different containers.
Customers have a few ways to continue to get use out of their glass recycling container.
So the best thing that we would encourage customers to do is utilize those glass bins that the city gave out to help transport their glass to the drop-off locations. If for whatever reason they choose not to participate or are unable to participate in the drop-off program, then we say just hang on to it and it'd make a great kind of storage device or something around your house. I've also heard some people talk about planters for them too.
Due to the unexpected impacts of COVID-19, there have been numerous delays that required Solid Waste Management to launch the drop-off sites later than expected.
As you can imagine, we faced some challenges due to the global pandemic and making sure that we were abiding by all kind of Center for Disease Control and then Tacoma Pierce County Health Department protocols, which we will still be monitoring those sites and make sure that people are maintaining social distancing, wearing masks, and then also the backlog due to make sure that we're complying with all of our city permits So to go through that permit process to make sure that we're compliant with all city policies and kind of the bigger vision for the city just took a little bit more time than we had anticipated.
Solid Waste Management welcomes customer feedback on the program as well as future site locations,
so that we can try to address those changes to make sure that we're collecting as much glass as possible in the city of Tacoma. So we really want people to participate, and then we want to make sure that's accessible for people as well. So please let us know if there's any kind of comments or questions that you have about the program, and we'll work throughout the next year and make the proper adjustments.
For Tacoma Report, I'm Stacey Ellifrett.
To provide feedback or find a full list of locations, hours of operation, and what is accepted at each site, visit tacomarecycles.org. We recently told you about the unfortunate death of Tacoma Police Department K-9 Rania, who was killed in the line of duty while trying to apprehend a homicide suspect. Well, we're happy to tell you that through the thoughtful donations and grants from many people and organizations in the Tacoma-Pierce County area, the Tacoma Police Department has been able to purchase a new K-9 dog. This is K-9 Axel, a male who, like Rania, comes to the department from Slovakia. Axel is already going through training with Officer Seiler, who is the same handler for Rania. Money that was raised and donated will also go towards sending all K-9 handlers in Pierce County to specialized training on K-9 trauma and first aid. Soon, K-9 Axel will be helping to keep the community safe and continuing the legacy K-9 Rania demonstrated during her short but heroic time on the force. After over 35 years with the Tacoma Police Department, Chief of Police Don Ramsdale is retiring. The chief started his career in Tacoma in 1985 as a police patrol officer, a sleep challenge beginning as a new dad with twins. He quickly established himself as a marksman on the SWAT team, and by 1989 became a narcotics investigator dealing with the influx of California-based street gangs infiltrating Tacoma. By the early 90s, he became part of the FBI's Violent Crimes Task Force and was promoted to sergeant in Tacoma's clandestine drug lab team, dismantling drug labs 24/7. A few years later, his father was on hand to pin him during his promotional ceremony to lieutenant, where he remained commander of the SWAT team and drug lab team. In 2002, he was promoted to captain and then assistant chief. And by 2003, at the age of 43, he became chief of police.
Working around such incredible people on the police department and other law enforcement agencies, other city departments here in Tacoma, and especially our community. We have an incredible community that we work with, and it's just been an honor and a privilege to represent the police department and work around so many wonderful people.
Chief Ramsdale is known for his countless efforts in the community, like his dedication to Shop with a Cop and Chief for a Day, where kids diagnosed with a life-threatening or chronic medical condition are honored. During his tenure, he led the department's effort to be accredited by the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies, an honor only 2% of agencies hold nationwide. Personally, his most satisfying accomplishment was being at the helm when the department solved the 30-year-old cold cases of Jennifer Bastian and Michaela Welch, as he was a young officer all those years ago when the girls went missing. Chief Ramsdale retires as the longest-serving chief of police in the department's history, and we join many in Tacoma in thanking him for his years of service and in wishing him a happy retirement. Solid Waste Management customers can bring those old, burned-out holiday lights to the Tacoma Recycle Center. Lights and wire are accepted for recycling all year round, but if lights are part of a decorative frame, be sure to remove them and recycle that separately. Also, starting December 26th through January 12th, the Recycle Center will accept unflocked, undecorated Christmas trees without stands. Customers who visit the Recycle Center are required to observe COVID-19 guidelines. To find out more about holiday light recycling or Christmas tree disposal, contact Solid Waste Management. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll visit a new spot that people visiting Tacoma are going to love. Stay with us. Welcome back to Tacoma Report. A new convention center hotel has opened up in the downtown corridor of Tacoma. Stacey Ellifrett has more on what the partnership between the hotel and the convention center means for the region.
Recently, the new Marriott Tacoma Downtown Hotel opened its doors to travelers. This new space is located right next to the Greater Tacoma Convention Center.
We are going to be able to partner to bring larger conventions and meetings to Tacoma. So whereas the Greater Tacoma Convention Center already had, over 100,000 square feet of active meeting space, this effectively doubles our opportunity to be able to host meetings that need things like breakout rooms. It'll be a full service property, which is really what the convention center was designed to be.
The addition of this new space means greater economic impact to Tacoma and the entire region.
The convention center was built to bring people to town so that they would spend their money in our hotels and our restaurants. And also, it's a business driver from another front, in that if someone comes to town, we're exposing them to our great community. And maybe it's somebody who then wants to relocate their business to Tacoma or the region as well.
Besides this important partnership, the hotel and the convention center share an actual connection.
That's the most exciting part. We have a sky bridge on the 3rd level that is literally a bridge, a walk across bridge, and it crosses over a space that we're not sure what we're going to do with yet. It's going to be a Zen garden or something between the two venues. So there'll be a lot of reason for people to travel across that bridge, not the least of which is to attend a great meeting at the convention center if you're staying at the hotel.
The new space offers beautiful views and large meeting spaces that allow for multifunctionality.
We have about 20,000 square feet of indoor space and another 10 to 15,000 outdoor. So we also have a rooftop event space on top of the ballroom, which is a nice outdoor space for Tacoma. But yeah, we have a 10,000 square foot ballroom, about 7 breakout rooms, smaller breakout rooms above the lobby. And we are connected to the convention center.
With the current circumstances around COVID-19, safety precautions and sanitation are key for the hotel.
Marriott's Commitment to Clean program has been the forefront pretty much for all of our guest rooms. So, anything that's in a guest room that can't be sanitized has been removed. And that anything that we are keeping in the room that can't be sanitized, we dispose of after each guest. Along with masks and social distancing and hand sanitizer, there's a lot of additional protocols that are going into place for our team. So it's really good to make sure that guests feel like they can still travel and have those safety precautions in place.
Safety precautions are also key for the convention center.
We're partnering with them on something that we call the Greater Way Forward, which is our pandemic response. Marriott, as you can well imagine, has incredibly high standards for sanitation and cleanliness because it's a new property. It has all the appropriate HVAC and heating and air conditioning and air handling. We're upgrading the convention center to meet that as well. So once we can reopen, and we're excited to do that in 2021, of course, people can expect only top of the line safety procedures and protocols in place, and we'll be excited to welcome them back.
For Tacoma Report, I'm Stacey Ellifrit.
To learn more about Tacoma venues and events, visit the city's website. The City of Tacoma has partnered with Vallejo and Metro Parks Tacoma to provide a warming center during inclement winter weather. When activated, the site can provide up to 50 people a place to sleep and meals 24 hours a day. For information about the site or to find out if it's open, visit the city's inclement weather resources page. Join us in the new year for the continuation of the virtual conversations about housing in the city's Home and Tacoma Cafe series. On January 8th, the discussion will turn to the city's role in creating housing. The final conversation will be on January 29th, which will focus on how Tacoma can get housing growth right. All conversations are from noon to 12:45 on Zoom. For event details and the Zoom link, visit the city's Home and Tacoma webpage. New infill regulations were launched on December 7th in Tacoma. The expanded infill program has increased the number of each housing types allowed through the program and added a planned infill housing category. The updates also include modified design requirements and a more streamlined permit process. For more information about what infill housing is and how the program works, visit the program's webpage. The State Environmental Policy Act, or SEPA, is part of the Washington State Code. The implementation includes a public process which allows review and comment from both reviewing agencies and members of the community. While SEPA usually cannot stop a project from being permitted, it can result in conditions made to permits, which is why public comments are important. To make productive public comment during SEPA review, people should be specific and address your individual concern regarding environmental impacts. Learn more about SEPA at the state's website. There's an iconic new artwork at Fireman's Park in downtown Tacoma named Swell. The project was made possible by a unique partnership between the City of Tacoma's Office of Arts and Cultural Vitality and the Port of Tacoma, commemorating the port's centennial celebrated in 2018. Crafted with steel and concrete, Swell was designed, fabricated, and installed by Rotator Creative, a Tacoma-based art and creative firm.
From the imagery to the symbolism, there's lots of port imagery that you can discover by exploring this piece. As well, there is a great photo op there with some photo alignments with the Murray Morgan Bridge and Mount Rainier. In fact, on December 21st, winter solstice, the sun comes up directly over the mountain in alignment with the sculpture.
Swell made its debut in early December. The public is encouraged, while practicing COVID safety precautions, to come check out this new piece of art and snap a photo using hashtag SwellTacoma on social media. On a clear day, visitors to Fireman's Park can capture a unique perspective where the artwork's longshore workers appear to pull open the Murray Morgan Bridge, revealing Mount Rainier. It's been chilly so far this winter, and sub-freezing weather conditions are still very possible for the next few weeks. As we see in this next report, Tacoma Water wants to remind residents that it's not too late to protect household plumbing.
During those winters when Arctic air moves in and ducks are able to walk on water, a few hours of freezing weather can mean disaster at home. Frozen water pipes can burst open and create a flood as they thaw. A few simple measures can help you avoid a huge mess and costly repairs.
As we all know, water expands when it turns into ice.
Make sure yard hoses are disconnected and drained. Install one of these hose bib covers to protect the pipe just inside the wall from freezing.
If you have exposed pipes in an unheated basement or a crawl space, you can insulate them using simple foam like this you can get from any hardware store, and you can cut it to size to fit any pipe that you need.
Always keep a little heat on in the house if you leave. Set the thermostat to at least 55 degrees. A small trickle from a faucet to circulate water through your household plumbing system will also help. It's very important for you to know how to react quickly to turn off the main water supply line coming into your home. The main valve is usually in the basement or crawl space closest to the water meter location.
Tacoma Water can help you locate your main household water supply shutoff anytime you have an emergency. Just call Tacoma Water's trouble line at 253-502-8343. Tacoma has an important ecosystem that once covered much of Tacoma, but now is only found in Oak Tree Park, Gary Oak habitat. The 25-acre parcel provides park-goers a special opportunity to experience a glimpse of what a part of Tacoma once looked like.
Oak Tree Park is an urban oasis in a very heavily developed urban area, and it is a space where we have incredible biodiversity. In fact, we have over 100 different species of plants and animals that we've documented in this park, and that's what makes it such a great example of the biodiversity that can be found in Tacoma's urban parks. But not only that, what makes this park special is its proximity to Arlington Elementary School, which is right across the street. And so what that means is that all this biodiversity, all this nature, all this wildlife is right across the street within easy walking distance for the students that are in Wildlife Champions, all 458 of them.
Visitors at the park can enjoy the trails and the wildlife by taking a walk through the park, which is located on South Montgomery Street. And finally, it's unfortunate, but we are now seeing more and more disposable and reusable masks that are worn during the pandemic being tossed aside and winding up on streets and gutters throughout the community. Not only is this unsightly, these are also making their way into Commencement Bay. But Citizens for a Healthy Bay has come up with a new program to help not only beautify the neighborhoods, but also protect the environment.
Everything that's on the street will end up in the waterway once it rains. So what we want people to do is think of a beach cleanup as something that they can do in their neighborhood. Walk down the street and pick up trash along the street and know that you're keeping that straw or that water bottle or whatever it is from getting into the water and breaking down, and a fish consuming it and, you know, consuming toxic plastic. So what we've put together is this thing called Tacoma Trash Tag, where you just take a little plastic bag and go down the street and pick up trash, take a picture of it, post it on social media, and put hashtag Tacoma Trash Tag and tag us in it, and we'll share the image as well. That is one of the most important things that we can do in our everyday lives to keep plastic out of the water and keep plastic out of the fish and the ecosystem. And that's really important right now.
For more information on Tacoma Trash Tag, please go to the Citizens for a Healthy Bay website. That's all the time we have on this edition of Tacoma Report. A great way to find out about the services the City of Tacoma has to offer is by going to cityoftacoma.org. Until next time, I'm Laura Proctor. Thanks for watching.